You have found yourself on another episode of Locked On Bulls. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the Bulls' big win over the Spurs that saw Andre Drummond go off. But will he remain in a Bulls uniform? We'll talk about all that and more right after this.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily podcast on the Chicago Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for tuning in to Locked On Bulls, member of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. First-time users can receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100 with promo code LOCKEDON. That's PrizePicks.com, promo code LOCKEDON. That's Pat, the designer, host and creator of the Windy City Breeze. I'm Haize, host and creator of Chicago Bulls and Chicago Bears Central. Pat, the Bulls get a win against a sub-500 team that down the stretch, that saw the Bulls in the game on a 49-29 run to seal that game. The Bulls end up winning that game by 24 points. We'll talk about Andre Drummond and his huge night in the second segment, but I want to focus on the Bulls win tonight. I know this is the game that you had pegged as a loss for the Bulls when we went through the games. How did you feel about this win tonight, Pat?
Yeah, I did have it as a loss, right? Because I thought Billy Donovan would get outcoached very much like he did in the last game. I love the way that they came out and played. It looked like I'll tell you this right now. Here's the thing. For the first time all season, probably all season, the Chicago Bulls looked like the clear-cut better team than a sub-500 team. The first time I can't think of another game where we just looked like the way better team. Like even right, like our wins versus Charlotte and stuff like that. Like in the end, you knew that the Bulls were going to win, right? When it came down to the close, but like throughout this game, the entire time, I felt like the Bulls had control of this game. Even when the Spurs took the lead a couple of times there in the second quarter and the third quarter, you knew that they were going to go on a couple of runs. But as soon as the Bulls put back in the starters, they were able to go out there and put in work, and the lead would grow again. So it was good to see that, right? Like, and it was good to see the Bulls come out with a dominant win in the fourth. I'm not going to say that I'm surprised. But I think as a whole, coaching staff, players, from top to bottom, shocked me a little bit. I'm not gonna say fully surprised, but because they're supposed to do this, but they did shock me a little bit.
Oh, for sure. I think that's a fair statement. I think when you look at the San Antonio Spurs have one of the best coaches and one of the best strategists coaches ever in the league. And when the Spurs took that 5-point lead briefly, it felt like, okay, here we're going to go. The Bulls are going to blow another lead. It's going to be another tough game down the stretch. And the Bulls responded to that. They came out, the bench came in, kind of set the tone. Drummond came in and just which we'll talk about Drummond. But like, I love the way that even DeMar and Zach, there were periods of times where they were out there on the court, and I honestly thought we had all bench players out there because they even deferred. They realized Drummond had the hot hand. Yeah. They rode that. And so Ayo pushing the break in the times that we saw him pushing the break, this was a game that almost every facet of it in that second half all played into the Bulls' hand, and the coaching staff and the players executed the game plan very well.
Yeah, and I think, right, the big thing to focus in on is that the Bulls were playing smart. The Bulls were playing with an understanding of what's coming up, right? You got the Memphis Grizzlies tomorrow night. That's not going to be an easy task to go up against. And all of a sudden, you saw Zach LaVine kind of taking his foot off the gas. Hey, listen, I'll put my foot on the gas when I need to right now, right? Like started off the game. And here's the thing. It was actually like it was like they knew what they were doing. They started the game off hot. Boom, let's build a lead up. Let's put them behind the 8-ball early. Zach LaVine knocks down a bunch of early shots. DeMar DeRozan knocking some down. P. Will being aggressive early. Starting lineup, punched him in the mouth quickly. You can coach.
By the way, I got to cut you off. That missed poster that by P. Will going to get one on somebody one day. He's going to get some, like that. P. Will got a poster in him. It's coming.
P. Will got a couple of posters.
I know, but I'm saying
he got a body to body with Zubac from last year.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Man, P. Will got some posters out here. But even that, right? I love the aggressiveness. I love that they're getting to the cup, right? All of that. I love everything that the Bulls did in this game early. And then, Spurs going a little run. You could tell that the Bulls were kind of just going through the motions. They were letting Andre Drummond cook. They were letting Nikola Vucevic cook. They were just, hey, let's just chill. You know what I mean? Like I'm just going through and trying to make sure that we're good for this tough game that's coming tomorrow. And I said this when the game or when the third quarter finished, I believe the score, was 85-90, something like that, right? Like 5-point game, very close game. I said, give me 5 solid minutes at the beginning of the fourth, and this game will be done. And that's what they did. They came out, boom, 5 solid minutes. DeMar DeRozan cooking, Andre Drummond continuing to cook, Nikola Vucevic chipping in, right? Like all of a sudden it was just like, oh, this game's over. Like it went from like a 5-point game to a.
You thought you was winning this?
You know what I mean? Like it was so quick, bro. And so I loved it, but that's like smart basketball that we haven't seen from this team all year. So I love that we saw that. I love how the Bulls played in this one. And I thought they did a good job kind of going through a team that you were supposed to beat.
Absolutely. What did you think of Vucevic's game in this one and how important this is for a back-to-back? We haven't seen very many games where the Bulls actually take care of business in which, DeMar and Zach still played over 30 minutes, but Vuce only 24 minutes in this game, 22 and 12, 4 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks in this game. But how important is that in a matchup where he's going to have to face some dogs in the front court against the Memphis Grizzlies? How important was that for him to be able to get that rest in the second half of the game?
It was huge. You know what I mean? That's the point of having Andre Drummond here. That's what I kept saying, right? The biggest part of Andre Drummond being a part of this team for now is that right, like that's what he gave Philadelphia when he was paired up with Joel Embiid, right? Like Joel Embiid would just be gone for 20 minutes and you'd be like, hey, like what ain't Joel on the team? Like, what, is he hurt? Like, what's going on? And then like he come back in and he give you another 25 because he didn't rest it for 15 actual minutes, 20 actual minutes, right? So I that's the whole point of having Andre Drummond in Chicago, and I love the fact that we're finally kind of getting back to using him in that way. I think the rest that Vuce got is going to be crucial, especially knowing what's coming his way. And I'm gonna be honest with you, they didn't even send him down low a lot, right? He shot a lot of threes tonight, and that didn't really do a lot of banging against Jakob Poeltl. And when he had to, he was effective against Jakob Poeltl. So I thought that the game plan for tonight's game is one of the best we've seen all season. It's good to see the Bulls. And here's the wild part: they're 14-40. Like you're supposed to beat them, but we're literally sitting here just like, hey, they did something they're supposed to do for once.
Yeah, and then DeMar. At one point, DeMar's shot wasn't falling. He had 8 points on 8 shots, and I like that DeMar did. Like I know I talked about a little bit before, but he even deferring, allowing Ayo Dosunmu to kind of push the pace. Yeah. The Patrick Williams and Nikola Vucevic pick and roll. I want to see that a little bit more. That was dangerous. Like I love. There was so much to like from this game, and yes, it came against a 14-win team. But I think the play style, and when you have success in playing that way, hopefully it builds that muscle memory up, and we see less of the Bulls going to isolation ball when teams get out to runs on them. And they got a team coming up against the Memphis Grizzlies that are going to get on some runs on them. It's bound to happen.
Hey, if I was getting cooked by Keldon Johnson like that, Ja finna destroy this, man. Hey,
well, the thing is
what happened to that defense, brother? What happened to the defense, brother? Keldon Johnson. I will say this: Keldon Johnson is a bulldog, fam. He ran into Andre Drummond and DeMar DeRozan on the offensive foul. Drummond was falling one way, and DeMar was dead on the left side.
He's 6'5", 220. He absolutely should be. Like, and shout out to Ayo who's 6'4". He's not like Ayo small, but he has, like, Keldon Johnson has 20 pounds on that man.
A big dude. Hey, Keldon, what you doing in the second half of the season? I could use that on my team. Out of everything I saw, I could use that on my team, or Devin Vassell, either one.
Listen. If the Spurs ever decide to move on for Devin Vassell, I already know you're gonna be the first one there at the front of the line. Like, hey, We got a long drive to get to Chicago from San Antonio. Devin, get in the car. Let's roll.
Hey, listen, you gonna be in the passenger seat.
Absolutely. We're gonna be like, Devin, we got snacks back there for you. If you need anything, we don't even worry about it. You just chill. We got you.
Man.
We want to make sure we hand deliver you to AK. Just a really solid game from the Bulls overall today. I like the game plan. I like what they did. And next up, we're going to talk about one of the player that probably had the biggest night and is going to be the biggest story is Andre Drummond and some of the comments he had post game. The writing may be on the wall. Andre Drummond's time in Chicago may be up. But before we get into it, talk about that, I do want to talk to you guys about one of our sponsors here, and that's Built Bar. If you're looking for a delicious treat but don't want all the fat and calories, then you got to try Built Bar. We just got through the holidays, and I know my goal is to eat a little healthier this year. If you're like me, where you want to eat healthier but don't want to compromise taste, then man, I've got the thing for you. You got to try Built. With Built, healthy is actually tasty. Seriously, they're so delicious, you won't think they're good for you. Perfect for your New Year's resolution. What makes Built Bar so good? Well, for starters, they're covered in 100% real chocolate. That's right, real chocolate. And they come in unbelievably flavors like churro, peanut butter, brownie, and coconut almond. I'm not sure how Built does it, but these bars taste like a candy bar while maintaining amazing macros. And what's even better is that they're healthy, only 130 calories and 4 grams of sugar with a whopping 17 grams of protein. And now you don't need to wait around to get your box. For years, we've been talking about ordering Built from Built.com. Now you can get them at your local Walmart or Sam's Club. That's right. Head to your nearest Walmart today, walk into the pharmacy section and grab yourself a box of Built Bars. You can pick up a 4-bar box of cookies and cream, double chocolate, and coconut puffs. If you're close to Sam's Club, where I like to get mine, run in and grab a 13-bar box with our hit flavors brownie batter and churro. You can thank me later.
Ladies and gentlemen, the NBA trade deadline is approaching, and Locked On has you covered. Thursday, February 9th, tune in to Locked On NBA on YouTube at 2 Eastern time to hear reaction from the trades that will change the rest of the NBA season, who becomes contenders, who's tanking for a better future. Subscribe to Locked On NBA on YouTube, and don't miss a deal. By the way, I will be on that show with Nick Angstead from Locked On Mavs. We will be holding it down over there on the I found that out today, by the way, on the trade deadline show, so that'll be fun.
That should be fun. Andre Drummond, bro, came out big night tonight, just huge night off the bench. 21 points, 15 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block, only 3 turnovers, and only 1 personal foul, getting to stay out of foul trouble. But outside of just that game, he had this to say in post-game. I love the support. Chicago has been great to me. The fan base has been awesome, very supportive of me being here. That's from Andre Drummond. Hey, what did you think about the game, B? What do you make of his comments post-game?
Hey, bro, I'm going to be honest with you. If Andre Drummond is a Chicago Bull after this trade deadline, I will be shocked. You haven't seen Andre Drummond play this many minutes, get this amount of time. I mean, like 20 plus minutes from Andre Drummond. He couldn't play 5 before. And listen, I've been very lenient at times with Andre Drummond because, right, like there are some games where he just can't get in the game, right? There's some games where you look at the matchup and you're like, yeah, I want to put you out there, but you're immediately going to get us behind the 8 ball in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some games where he absolutely should be out there and we don't see him out there. But tonight, 21 points, 15 rebounds. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't even see the floor versus Memphis. With 21 minutes, oh my God, bro, come on, dog. Come on, dog. They got that stock right where they want it right now. And I mean, he's just a nice piece to make money work and stuff like that. And he's a nice piece to send. He's a good piece to bring up in trade. Now, here's the thing. I don't want him gone. I want Billy Donovan to figure out how to use him. I think that's the most important thing that can help the Chicago Bulls in the long run. I think the same thing with Goran Dragic, right? Goran Dragic is somebody who you just got to figure out how to use in the right moments. Andre Drummond, you clearly can see, right? Like, even when he's bad or even if he's having an off game, he's absolutely still 10-10. And
oh, for sure.
That's what we went into this offseason saying that we need it. Like last year, we were just like, we can't get a rebound. Vooch is alone. He has nobody to help him grab rebounds. Somebody got 15 rebounds, and the only other guy that's even close is Nikola Vucevic with 12.
Yeah.
I want him to be a part of this team. I don't know if I expect him to be a part of this team after this deadline.
The way that I look at it is this. Andre Drummond's contract is very, very small. So, like, I'm just wondering what deal are they going to include him in or have him in to where we're going to get somebody back that brings the impact that Andre Drummond has. Like, yeah. I do agree with you. The comments here leave a lot. And then Billy Donovan's comments of, yeah, Drummond's playing good, but I still want to see DJJ at center. What's the but? What's the but? What can you ask for more from than a player getting you double-digit rebounds and double-digit points off the bench? I don't know why there's a but there. I have no idea.
Like it's just the name, bro. Like when you think of the size difference between DJJ and Andre Drummond, it's just like I get it, right? The numbers say this, but there's no way you can think that that's a good idea.
Yeah.
But you know what that sounds like? That sounds like a coach that's preparing to have to play the rest of the season without a player.
I just don't know, bro. Like it's so frustrating. To think like because when Drummond has given us minutes and even the foul trouble, right? Yeah, he did have a stretch of being in foul trouble badly, but it happens. Hell, DeMar went through it, right? DeMar went through it.
Yep.
It's just Drummond offers such a unique set of skills coming off the bench in his ability to get rebounds and putbacks and things like that. And then also, let's take that part out of it. The chemistry between him and Goran Dragic is special. That man just knows how to find Drummond. So, like, if they do move Drummond, it better be in a heck of a deal, bro. It better be in a heck of a deal.
Andre Drummond will be traded to Orlando for Mo Bamba and cash consideration.
It's
he ain't even got enough money.
Not enough, but money. that's tough, bro. That's tough. Man.
It is right. And I think here's the thing at the end of the day, right? To me, does moving Andre Drummond make your team better? I don't think it does. I think this is on Billy Donovan to figure out how to use Andre Drummond. And honestly, right, like the real question here is, again, like we talked about yesterday, what's going on with Vooch? Is Vooch going to be here? Because if Vooch ain't going to be here, I would really like to have a big man that can grab rebounds. And Andre Drummond, at a minimum, is a big man that can grab rebounds. Now, do I want to see Andre Drummond out here for, for 32 minutes? No, I don't. Yeah, I don't. Like, I don't think that he has that style of game anymore, right? Like, tonight was fun. Tonight was really fun. They have nobody that can defend Andre Drummond. Like, Zach Collins can't hold Andre Drummond off the board.
Mm-hmm.
And Andre Drummond was being very simple. He was getting a lot of alley-oops. He was playing a simple game, and it worked out. He essentially turned into Clint Capella tonight. But we know that that's not the Andre Drummond you're going to get every night. So I think that there's a lot of things that the Bulls need to figure out outside of Andre Drummond, right? And I'm looking at Nikola Vucevic, who also had a great game tonight. I mean, 22 and 12. Me and you have both talked about this, right? Like, are we heading towards some kind of scenario where, like, we could be missing both of our big men by the end of this?
I doubt it. I don't think that Vooch is being moved. But
you think a deal gets done?
Bro,
like just letting him walk?
No. Oh, he's staying with the Bulls. The Drummond piece of it, bro. Like it's just so mind-boggling to me that you can have a player, and I get it, foul trouble and stuff, but like to answer your question, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna be opposite you on this. I say after the trade deadline, we still got Vooch and Drummond in the Bulls uniform.
I'll be surprised if we have both. I'm gonna be honest with you. I just don't know what the situation with Vooch is, right? Like you can't let him walk. So if you're going past the trade deadline, that means that you're expecting to get some kind of deal done with him. Or we're gonna be at the end of the season talking about AK doesn't seem as smart.
You know what? For all we know, he already signed an extension.
And it just hasn't been reported.
It hasn't been reported.
I don't think that works for players.
It doesn't. You got to submit it to the league.
I don't think that works for players. Coaches Billy's getting paid under the table. Y'all think that Billy's money counts against the cat? It doesn't, bro. Billy's getting broken off small $100 bills from Jerry Reinsdorf personally in the owner's box, bro. Like that's how Billy's getting paid every week.
Like a stripper?
Yeah, no. Well, I was thinking more like a mob boss, bro. I wasn't saying he was just throwing the money in the air at him. Jesus, like, how we get here? How did we? Why's Jerry got to throw it at him? Why can't he just hand it to him? I was thinking more like they wrapped it in a rubber band and give it to him. It's a nice bag. You know what I mean? It's like.
No. Now
he's grand and small.
He made it rain on Nikola Vucevic. That's what he did.
That's tough. Oh wow! Hey, I bet you weren't betting on that happening. And before we get into this final topic, if you were betting on that to happen, I'm sure you can find it over on PrizePicks. I don't know if can I make that segment, that segue there. Here's the thing, though. PrizePicks is. PrizePicks is one of the best places to go for you to be able to play daily fantasy sports. How does it work? You pick 2 to 6 players, and if they go on to score more or less than their prize pick projection, you can win up to 25 times your money on any entry. And Jerry Reinsdorf apparently might throw it in the air at you. No competing against other people. It's just you versus the projections available. PrizePicks offers projections on any sport that you watch. That includes NBA, NFL, MLB, NHL, PGA, college football, men's college basketball, women's college basketball, soccer, WNBA. The list goes on. Shut up, Haize. Entries can be made in 60 seconds or less. It's easy. It's fast. It is safe. And the withdrawals are fast as well. Currently operational in over 30 states and Canada. Download the PrizePicks app or go to prizepicks.com to sign up for daily fantasy sports. First time users can receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100 with the promo code Locked On. If you deposit $100, PrizePicks will give you $100. If you deposit $50, PrizePicks will give you $50. Don't forget to enter the promo code Locked On and sign up for an instant deposit match up to $100. And watch out for Jerry Reinsdorf. There's no way. I don't know how.
All right, Pat. So the Bulls now start and prepare for a 3-game road stretch in which they face the Memphis Grizzlies, the Brooklyn Nets on trade deadline day, no less, and the Cleveland Cavaliers to finish off the week on Saturday. Now, Pat, got to ask you this. Memphis is up next. Who do you think needs to step up big time against the Memphis Grizzlies?
Your stars, man. You need Zach LaVine, you need DeMar DeRozan, you need Nikola Vucevic, right? That's why you saw those guys kind of play a little bit sparingly. Not to say DeMar still played a ton of minutes. DeMar played 34, Zach played 31, but kind of right, just going through the motions, kind of being in a rhythm. But I do think that it says a lot about what this team realizes it's going to need and where the advantage is versus the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis has been struggling down low to be able to get stops since Steven Adams has gone out. I almost said Steven Jackson. I was about to take that back. Since Steven Adams has gone out, right? Like Jaren Jackson Jr., really solid player down there, but just hasn't been able to really lock down that paint the way that they would like. And they listen, I talked about it on Lockdown NBA. That's been a real point of trouble for the Memphis Grizzlies. It's been how a lot of teams have gotten wins over the Grizzlies, right? The Grizzlies have been going through a little bit of a tough stretch here, where ever since Shannon Sharp basically got on the floor and was ready to fight half the team and Ja Morant's dad, I believe they're like 7-9 since that point. So they've gone on a little bit of a tough stretch here. Ever since Ja Morant called out half of the West and basically said, we're not worried about them, right? Like
we don't see the West. They see you now.
They
you
see
talk
you,
too much.
You know what I mean? Unfortunately, we're in the East. But I think that the Bulls realize, and you see from the minutes tonight, Vooch is the one that played the least amount of minutes. They probably plan on going to Vooch heavily, at least I hope so, in this Memphis game. And I think that'll be a real advantage for the Chicago Bulls.
Now, the Jaren Jackson Jr. of it all, averaging 3.3 blocks per game. It's gonna be tough. And a team that has a lot of slashes and tries to get to the rim, and even with DeMar operating in space in the mid-range, it's gonna be really interesting to see how the Bulls combat that. I'm looking, especially because of the way that it's gone. DeMar's going to have a big night tomorrow. And I'm saying DeMar's going to have one of those 40-point nights tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say it comes in a win. I don't know. But I'm saying that it's DeMar. Be prepared for DeMar to have a big night tomorrow, because the Bulls may not be able to get some things going that they usually do. And if Vooch doesn't have the impact, that automatically is going to put the ball in DeMar's hands a little bit more. And what DeMar's able to do in the mid-range, if he can take advantage of Zaire Williams, Dylan Brooks, who are going to be probably the main two guarding him. Yeah, I'm thinking DeMar's going to need to have a big night tonight.
Yeah, I think DeMar's going to have to be a focal point for you as well. And I think at the end of the day, right, like you're talking about two guys that, again, three guys really that just didn't do that much, right? We saw Ayo Dosunmu for long stretches of this being doing a real good job of attacking. And you know what? I think that's one thing that you still need to be able to exploit a little bit. Ja Morant, of course, nice defender. I'm trying to find a good way to say it. He's not a bad defender.
He's an active defender.
That's a great way to say it. He's a very active defender. But I would love to see Ayo Dosunmu kind of trying to get downhill, penetrate into that defense and be able to get to the rim like he did tonight, right? Making some tough layups. I would love to see Patrick Williams continue to be aggressive, because here's the thing that we do know, right? The Memphis Grizzlies other guys are going to be able to step up and make plays. Our other guys going to be able to do that? And I love what we saw from P. Will tonight. And I think, right, I would say you went DeMar DeRozan. I would say let's expect a bigger night from P. Will tomorrow. He only got 18 minutes tonight.
True, but the reason why I don't know about the P. Wills, well, are they going to move JJJ to the 5, or is he still going to be at the 4? Because if he's at the 4, I don't know what P. Will can do with JJJ.
He's got to be playing the 5. I mean, the only one that you're worried about killing you for real is Vooch. True,
but Brandon Clark has started some games for them. He is averaging 10 and 6. So,
I mean, who you worried about more? I'd rather have Brandon Clark guarding P. Will than have Brandon Clark guarding Vooch.
That's
you
true.
leave JJ.
That's
you know
true.
what I mean? But
That's
I mean,
true.
there's a bunch of ways they can do it. But I think the Bulls are expecting a big day attacking the rim. Down low tomorrow, but just because of what we saw tonight, right? Andre Drummond playing a ton of minutes. P. Will, who's been playing some 5 in place of Nikola Vucevic, not really playing any 5 tonight, right? Like just very low moments. DJJ got a ton of minutes now. He got 26 minutes tonight. So, and even at some center, right? You know what I mean? Like, so you're kind of seeing the guys that they want to rest. I would think you would hope at least be indicative of what they're going to try and do tomorrow. But you know, I mean, we'll see. You know, the Bulls are a bag of tricks that we never know, dog. Like, it's just like this is simple basketball, and this is exactly what they'll do. And then we'll see Zach LaVine shoot the ball 40 times tomorrow. I'll be like, I don't know why that was the answer. What happened?
Yeah, shoot the ball 40 times tomorrow with 19 seconds left on the shot clock, and it was a step back, one-legged 3 from 3 feet behind the three-point line.
Do you practice that shot?
Do you practice that? When do you practice that shot? But you know what? Zach probably does practice that shot, though.
Oh, Zach definitely practiced.
Yeah, he practiced that shot. But
Zach's practicing that shot 100%. It's not even a question about it, man. But no, I'm excited to see what the Bulls are going to be able to do tomorrow. I'm excited to see how, and I think the one thing that we do need to talk about is, right, we're talking about how they're going to attack offensively. Defensively, they got to tighten it up.
Bro,
like, it looked great in the fourth quarter of this game, and I think that was also, you know, they knew at a certain point they could stop them. 2 games in a row, in fact, the Bulls have gone on some really, really nice offensive to defensive runs, right? I believe in the Blazers game, they went on a 32-7 run between the third and fourth quarter. In this game, right, went on a serious run between the third and fourth quarter and into the fourth. I mean, I believe San Antonio only scored, what, like 18 points in the fourth quarter, something like that.
Something like that.
So yeah. you outscored them 38-19 in the fourth quarter, actually. So really good runs these last couple of games. But I'm gonna tell you this right now: the Memphis Grizzlies ain't the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, and so before we go, I do want to talk about a couple of injury updates that we do have, just to send us off on home. So first up, Alex Caruso, he did sit out this game. Do you think he plays tomorrow? Because we're gonna need him.
I didn't hear anything. What was the issue with Caruso?
Well,
Oh,
Caruso's is still the foot thing. The
It was
foot.
still the. Did he roll his ankle?
No, it's
In
the
one
foot
of the-
contusion. He had a foot
Came
contusion.
down on that.
Yeah.
I would probably bet they hold him out.
And then Javonte Green, we actually got an update on that from Billy Donovan today, because we're past the 2-week deadline where he was supposed to be reevaluated. Looks like Javonte Green still is not running or jumping, and it's unclear when he's going to be able to suit up again. That's a very Lonzo-esque quote.
Hey, bro, I was just about to say, boy, that boy got that Lonzo ball, don't he?
Bro, like, and unfortunately, unlike Lonzo, Javonte is a unrestricted free agent this offseason. His first time being an unrestricted free agent. Yeah. Sucks for Javonte, bro.
Well, we'll see. I mean, this doesn't feel like it's going to be a very, very long-term thing. I mean, like, Javonte's on the sideline, like, jumping around, getting hyped with the Bulls, right? So it doesn't seem like he's just doesn't have an ability to walk around and run. Like, it doesn't seem like he's just in pain anytime he moves, because every time I see a camera on him, first off, he is assimilated in the Chicago culture better than anybody I've ever seen, man. He looked like he's selling DVDs out of the back of a truck sometimes, brother. You know what I mean? Like, he got a old Seville that he's popping the trunk on in some of them jumpsuits he got on. But I mean, he's out there with the team. He's out there being excited with the team. He's having a great time, and I think that's the that's more indicative of anything to me, that he'll be back a little bit sooner, or at least, you know, probably near playoff time and stuff like that, than Lonzo Ball, who just like disappeared for like 7 years.
Yeah.
like we just didn't see Lonzo, and we're like, hey, is he like on the sideline or okay? Like, what happened?
Yeah. Well, all right. We'll see where that leads the Chicago Bulls, and we'll see if the Bulls can make it 4 in a row against the Memphis Grizzlies. First time this
season. I'll say this. At least I would feel better about it, because the last 2 times we won 3 in a row, we lost to the Houston Rockets, who at that point were the worst team in the NBA. And then we lost to the Charlotte Hornets, I want to say, who also were the worst team in the NBA. Yeah. So hopefully we'll finally be able to win 4 in a row. But at least if we lose, I would feel like we're supposed to lose.
Yeah.
Follow us on everything at Locked On Bulls, man. We'll keep you guys updated on all the latest. You can follow me on everything at Pat the Designer. Make sure to leave a comment below. Who was your 2 stars of the night, man, for the Chicago Bulls? Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, let us know that down below. That is it for us for today. You can follow me at CEO Haize, CEO Haize. You can also follow us at Locked On Bulls. For Pat the Designer, I'm Haize. This has been Locked On Bulls. We out, y'all. Peace. Yeah.